the first thing is very important is basically understanding how things are constructed, right? So if we go to editor, I have level 08 open. You can find that on the unpacked folder under levels. And level 08 is basically a chunk of the ancient city level, and so this is the level editor, and it's running. You can see all the entities, all the models, and all that stuff. But if some of these terms do not make sense to you, then it might be a little confusing to go ahead and proceed to the following step, which is making content. So let's cover some of that stuff first. So right now, if I hit on this little tree, that's the icon for mesh edit. If I were to click on this, then you see the corner of the cliff. If I want to click on this, then you will see the concave corner of the cliff. If I click on this guy, you'll see it being straight. So this is what's known as a modular kit, which basically snaps on the grid, because then once it gets to this area, all it is it's got this little big chunk. And all this is pretending to be like a solid line of mass. However, if you were to pull it up, then you'll find out that it's just a simple plane. And that's pretty cool, because like a lot of these models are very simple, but once you kind of put them all together and you prove out the kit function and purpose, then you can make a lot of stuff very quickly, right? Like put the whole level together. Now obviously when I say quickly, it still takes some time. So yeah, so then these models, you bring them in and you assemble a cliff with them, cool, right? But what about architecture? Well, architecture works a little different, because it's the same principle. You make models on the grid that snap together like Lego pieces, but then you wouldn't necessarily bring a door frame, like a ceiling and stuff, and put it together. Instead, you probably want to bring in a full house. So this house, all these houses are huge pieces that have been built in the modeling program and imported in, right? And another thing that we need to understand is that all of them use materials, and then those materials have been rendered in the engine through the UV data that the models have on them. So the UV data is another side of modeling that you need to go into. If you're new to this, it might be very tedious at first, but UV is just like modeling, it's just another process. And once you kind of get it, once it clicks, the sky is the limit. So if I go over here to the model picker, this is where you find the models that you can place in the level. So for example, this house here, if this house here, and the name for that is Temple Small 01. So if I click on this and I come here and I say insert mesh here, it imports that mesh, right? So that's kind of neat, because it puts your mesh in the level, right? These meshes can have collision, or they may not have collision, which brings me to my next point. After you do all this cool modeling environment stuff, you have to go through a process of setting up or plotting sectors, right? And this is kind of like the skeleton of the game, where this is what tells Turok what he can collide with and how he interacts with certain objects. So for example, here the red ones are simple floors, the orange yellow ones are cliffs. These are the points that make that that wall. And if you were to click on this face and hit F4, then you will access the sector parameters, or sector properties. And then if you see here, this has a flag that is set to cliff. So if I were to untag that, now this becomes a floor. And what happens is, if you're up here and Turok Turok wouldn't know that he can fall down at that point. Like, he would just get stuck, right? So you have to flag this properly and understand that all this is part of the process, right? So then let's go back to edit mode. So the reason I bring that up is because if we have a house that has certain parts, for example, like this one, you're gonna see that this house has steps, right? So in real life, you know, you will be able to step on that. But in the Turok engine, what it is you create a ramp that now goes inside of this object, and then as you can see, the sectors end exactly where the wall starts. So there's a sector here, and there's a hole in between the walls. So once you have your geometry placed in the level, you kind of have to go through a painful process of setting up sectors and all that kind of stuff. The next thing is animated models. So animated models are pretty much models that move, right? And I'm not gonna cover that too much yet because animated models are a beast of their own, but you pretty much animate them in Blender and bring them in, and then through sectoring and stuff, you kind of like get them to animate, right? So now that I know that, now that I've shown you where this is, right, and I told you what name it is, what you would do is to retro engineer something. You will go in here and to levels, models, and go find that mesh. So that mesh is called City Temple City Temple Small 01. So it's this guy, right? So in Blender, what you would do is you will go in and say import. So you go to that folder. So city models. Sorry, I always mess up the names. Let's see. Let's just copy it, right? So if you put it here, you know, it's gonna show up in there. So what's gonna happen is it's gonna come in pretty big, and that's fine. I'm going to select it and scale it by 0.01 to make it a scale that I'm comfortable working on, right? Now you could work at it like it came at this giant resolution, scale, but it's just, you're just gonna start running into a lot of issues because at that point you're working very big. But if you do choose to work like that, then what you can do is you can adjust the camera clipping so that you can see the model properly like this, right? So all I did was change the clip start and end, and then now after that point you kind of start doing things. So here the important part is to kind of like pay attention to a few things. So this is a model. If you go here, you're gonna see its topology. Its topology is very simple because it came from 1996. So cool. Although the magic here though comes in the form of texture. So this model alone, if you go to the material tab, this model alone has all these textures assigned to it, so all these materials. So if you go into edit mode and you select this face, for example, it's going to automatically select the material that this face is assigned to. The material that the face has been assigned to. So likewise, if you keep selecting these, you're going to see these things, right? So this is pretty good because now these textures exist within your Blender file and you can use them to create something new. So I've gone ahead and created a model that I can import. This model basically is something I did from scratch, but I built it in the style of Turok, but then I went ahead and I referenced some of the materials that the other house had assigned to it. And when I'm ready to export, I make sure that that is transformed or set to 0, because that's very important. And now that you're ready to export, I've made a couple of tools here to kind of aid the process. So first, let's save this. So let's make a duplicate, right, first, so that we don't break stuff. And then let's also name this the same name that I just used, so A01. Cool. So now if I come in and I click on the prep mesh for Kex Engine, what this does is pretty much just makes everything big again. And so if I do export and go to the models, I'm going to make a model folder, and then here though we wanted to make it to we want to tell it to export the materials, and we don't have animation, so we don't have to do that. And we also don't want to copy the textures because we are using the textures that come with the game. Alright, so unfortunately this is not going to update, so we have to close it, you know, because now we put something brand new in the game. With the editor open, let's go back into that level. So it's right here. So if you go to a model picker, and then if you did everything properly, usually new models that you are making yourself are going to show up at the very top. So here's the model I just created, right? So if I right click, you have to insert mesh here, right? So, you know, these are nice, and there are a lot, you know, it's a lot detailed than the ones that come in with Turok, but they're still using the same model, the same textures, right? So, you know, like I mentioned before, if we go into vector sectoring here, you're gonna see that it's got vector walls. I mean, it's got sector collision walls, you know, to prevent Turok from going inside. And it also has stuff at the very top to prevent Turok from going into the level, right? If we have this one in here the way it is, what's going to happen is the character is just going to you're just going to go through it like it's not there, like. So after you have it in there, and once you figure out how you like it in the level, then you would probably go in and set up your vectoring. So that's pretty much it for importing static meshes.